Is Donald Trump about to destroy the car market? If you haven't heard, Trump is enacting a 25% tariff on goods coming from Mexico and Canada, which will have an impact on cars made in Canada and Mexico. But the real question is how is this going to impact everyday buyers? If you're looking to buy a car in the next 3 months, will this increase your prices? Let's talk about it. Before we dive into this, I want to make sure this is crystal clear. I am not trying to make a political post. I don't care if you're pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I don't care if you're pro-tariffs or anti-tariffs. What I want to talk about is the facts, because if you're about to buy a car, you want to know how this is going to impact you. Enough about that. Let's talk about these tariffs. First off, let's answer the major question. Is this going to impact prices if the tariffs stay? The answer is yes. Experts are saying anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 increases in pricing for any cars that were built in Mexico and Canada before. The real question is this going to impact the car market in the long term? And that is up for debate because we've already seen what Trump's idea with these tariffs are. He's using them as a negotiation tool. And I am not saying that this is a good or bad idea. What I am saying is that Trump did give us a small glimpse on how he plans to utilize tariffs. And I will say that nobody's really inside the head of Trump. But if we look at Colombia over the last week, Colombia refused to take in deported migrants into their country from America. Trump enacted crazy tariffs onto the country. Colombia said, whoa, we can't afford this. We'll accept them. Trump removed the tariffs. So essentially you give Trump what he wants, he removes the tariffs. But the problem is Canada and Mexico said, we're not giving you what you want and we'll enact our tariffs of our own. So it's essentially a giant game of chicken and one side has to fold. So yes, I do believe this will have an impact on pricing, especially in the short term if there is not a resolution by Tuesday, but I do not think this will have a long-term impact on the car market. And really because this is too big of an impact, not only on the US economy, but Canada and Mexico's. This could be devastating for them as well. So I think in this game of chicken, somebody folds. I'm not going to predict who folds, but I do want to talk about what brands are affected because 25% of the cars that are sold in America are imported from Canada and Mexico. Funny enough, domestic brands will actually feel the impact the most. If we look at the top 5 cars that are exported from Mexico, for example, 3 of them actually end up being domestic. General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford export more cars than almost any other brand from Mexico. The other 2 brands are Nissan and Volkswagen if you're curious, but yes, I do understand that almost every brand manufactures parts in Canada and Mexico. These parts cross the border multiple different times before they're ever assembled inside a vehicle, so everybody would feel the impact of these. But if you want my personal opinion, what I think is going to happen in the car market, call me an optimist, but I don't think this is going to have a major impact on the market. And I think there's 2 reasons why. First off, manufacturers have known this is going to happen for months. So I think manufacturers have been prepping for this moment for months to make sure that they can hold off on increasing pricing for as long as they can. Secondly, I think too many industries are impacted by this. Too many jobs and too many countries are involved. I think somebody folds, so a resolution is made before this has a major impact on the market. This is what I officially think will happen. No, I do not think prices are going to unilaterally increase by $4,000 on Tuesday when the entire